I was 19 years old. I was shift manager, night shift for this Taco Bell on Colima Road in Rowland Heights, California, or La Puente, right in that area next to Hacienda Heights. And one of the employees told me, hey, there's going to be problems. Her boyfriend is going to come by and beat me up with his buddies. I'm like, all right, don't worry about it, because she was all upset that day, and I was trying to find out why. She's like, really? I said, we got work to do. We're busy tonight anyway. I'm not even going to think about it. So we're going. It's super rushed. It's probably like a Friday or Saturday night, just packed in there, and we're just busy taking orders and all that. 3 guys come in and they're like, Zane. I'm like, what? Get out here. I want to talk to you. And I said, I'm busy. Sit down. Shut up. And that's just kind of what came out of my mouth. And it's just like a line and stuff like that. And to my surprise, all 3 of them sat down and shut up. So then I kind of forgot about them because I was so busy taking care of orders and stuff like that. All of a sudden I hear a crash, breaking of a window. And I looked, and the entire door, the guy had thrown his fist in it, shattered the whole thing. It's like a $200-300 door. He's swinging open doors on our main entrance. Reacted, pissed, jumped over the little area, and the guys just stepped out, him and his 2 buddies. I said, hey! They turned around. I said, what? I said, you're paying for that glass. And he says, what? And then he just wells me across the face. I fall to the ground. I pull up, grab box cutter knife, because we open boxes all the time. Just left a little bit of a slidge right here. Went up in the air, did the Superman punch, whoosh, scarred him right across the face, opened it up. And then I started thinking, oh shit, securities are all in the parking lot. Better be careful on that. Make sure I have a use for it. So just kind of threw it in the bushes in case I need to grab it a little bit later. They never saw it. There's just barely kind of pop, pop, pop. So then all 3 guys are jumping on me. Immediately I get between 2 cars. So you got 2 cars over here, because I figured small range. These are all big guys, all about 200 plus pounds. I was probably about 142 pounds at that time, 19 years old. So I'm in between 2 cars, and they're kind of in between 2 cars, but because we're so tight, there's very little room. You got 3 guys over 200 pounds, you got me in the middle, and they're wailing on me, and I'm just covering up. So a couple things that are nice. It was very difficult for all 3 to hit me at once. They kind of had to kind of bounce back and forth, or they'd be hitting each other. And all their punches were super short. And while I'm taking these little hits to the back of the head, to the side, to the top of the head, you can tell it's hurting their hands as well. So, and they're getting tired because their cardio wasn't there. So they're getting, tired and tired. It's 3 big Mexicans. So I grab, there's a antenna on the car that says, I believe it's a yellow truck. And I'm trying to break it, right? Use it as a weapon, because now my knife is over there in that corner. And the box cutter, it's not breaking off. Sometimes they break off pretty quickly. This was one that happened to be more bendable. And I'm like, oh shit, all right, cool. So I bundled up even tighter, kind of got in between them. And the whole time I'm doing boxing, it's all boxing. There's no end up on the ground fights here. There's no room. You're stuck between 2 cars, and now you're wedged in. Well, everybody you could see in the crowded restaurant, everybody's looking out the windows at the Taco Bell, and one guy's yelling, hey, that's my car. And I'm saying, well, then move these guys out of the way, pretty much. Anyway, within, again, could have been 30 seconds, could have been a couple minutes. They're just winded. They're tired. This guy got a scar across his face. He didn't know how he got it. All he felt was the punch. He didn't feel anything else. And the other guys are all winded, and I'm fine, really. I mean, I got bruises here and there, but they're not making any contact on any vital areas. They don't have weapons, thank God. Then you hear security, then police, then it kind of breaks up. But lesson at the end, it's like I went back to work, I finished my shift, I cleaned it up. We got him, with the police report, we got them to pay, I think it's like $325 for the window. I could have pressed charges even more, but that time I really didn't want to bother with it. I was kind of just glad it was over, no big deal. So just something to think about. It was a good lesson though, because reactively, my mind felt great. First of all, I remembered I had a box cutter in there real quick, so I was able to grab it while I was on the ground. use it. And if they had a weapon, I was able to retrieve it, or I could have, if I wanted to be serious, I could have cut them all three up. But again, you got to say, was it worth it? Situational. I didn't get in trouble because, again, I'm defending myself. And I was really glad, hindsight, to realize that I was smart enough to immediately go between two cars that were parked right there in the parking lot, like just 2 feet away. And I kind of mobilized the situation. So multiple attackers now didn't become as much of a multiple attacker problem because they couldn't get my backside. I was against the wall. It was very minimum movement from the side. They can't even tackle me to the ground because even if they would have grabbed my waist, there's really nowhere to go. The best that they would have been able to do is all three drag me to the side, but again, I'm holding on to the car when they're trying to do that, so they can't even get away. Had I got that antenna, I would have been whipping around. So anyway, anything can happen in a street fight, but again, it goes back to me telling people, I'm like, rarely is there one-on-one street fights. It's mostly groups of people. So just think of that in your training.